We have made it, boys. A trilogy remake for God of War has been announced. It's Mike, and if you guys don't know, I just started my journey on God of War 2018, and right now I'm going to be reacting to the complete God of War timeline by the leaderboard. Shout out to the leaderboard for creating this timeline for God of War. I really wanted to refresh my memory on, what happened in God of War 3 and to learn more knowledge on Kratos' past, to better understand the story. So right now we're going to be watching this. So yeah, without further ado, man, let's get straight on to it.
The ghost of Sparta, the fallen god, Farbati, or the one who yells boy every 2 minutes. You know him by many names, but do you know the full story of Kratos? I'm Keegan, and in this video, we're gonna go over the story of all of the God of War games.
Look at how many games there are. And what is this? Are these books? Was God of War based on books? I never knew that. God of War Ascension. Oh, why did he order it like this? Is this the chronological order? I think I saw that on Google when I searched it up. Ascension. I don't know why he's in chains. Chains of Olympus, God of War 1. Oh, okay. Ghost of Sparta. So Ghost of Sparta is before God of War 2. Oh snap! I didn't know that. And what is this? Is this comics? Yo, this game has comics. I didn't know I had comics.
Adventures in Midgard. This timeline will go over the main events of Kratos' story in the order that they happened for the Ghost of Sparta, which isn't always the chronological order of the game's release dates. The story of Kratos begins before the events of the first God of War game. Kratos is a captain of the Spartan army, leading his men through numerous battles and always emerging victorious. But nothing lasts forever. Kratos and his army eventually encounter a savage barbarian horde that slaughters them. And then, as he's about to die, Kratos strikes a deal with Ares, the god of war from Greek mythology. Kratos pledges his allegiance to Ares under the condition that the god would spare him and his men and help him obtain victory. Ares accepts this offer and grants Kratos the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, that's where he gets the blades.
Weapons forged in the realm of the dead, symbolizing Kratos' servitude to the god with chains bound to the Spartan's flesh. Kratos becomes Ares' servant, defeating his enemies and conquering various parts of Greece. These newfound powers turn Kratos into a bloodthirsty conqueror, killing everyone on his way. His army eventually comes across a village that worships Athena, the goddess of wisdom and military victory. Blinded by his bloodlust, Kratos kills every villager and sets their houses on fire. Once his rage dissipates, Kratos realizes that his own wife and daughter are among the casualties. The village oracle curses Kratos for this massacre and binds the ashes of his dead family to his skin. This new
wait, so does this mean like Kratos was black this whole time, bro? Kratos was a brother, bro. I didn't know that. Like, what the freak? So, okay, and the village oracle did this to him. I thought this was done by like Athena or Ares or something. Okay. So this is how he became the Ghost of Sparta.
Tone grants Kratos his most popular nickname,
Ghost of
the
Sparta.
Ghost of Sparta. It turns out Kratos' wife and daughter weren't here by accident. It was a plot from Ares, who wanted to free Kratos from his mortal bounds to turn him into the perfect warrior with no feelings.
Wow, that's crazy. So did Ares tell him that? How does he know? I think that's what happened, right?
Plan didn't work out for Ares, as Kratos swears to get his vengeance against the God of War and renounces his pledge of servitude. God of War Ascension, a hack and slash released in 2013 for the PlayStation 3, takes place 6 months after Kratos accidentally killed his family.
Oh, so Ascension is the first game? That's so weird. On the PS3? 2013. Wow. Why would they structure it like that? That's so confusing. Because the first God of War, ain't that on PS2 or PS1? So you would have, so if you were a fan, you would play God of War 1, 2, or what was the order again? It was, let me see. You would play 1, and then Chains of Olympus, or I don't know which comes first in release date. I think it was 1, Chains of Olympus, 2, Ghosts of Sparta, and then Ascension, and then this is confusing, bro. Like, why would they structure like that?
Events of the very first God of War game. After Kratos broke his oath of allegiance to Ares, the God of War sends the Furies to punish him for his betrayal.
Furies?
These 3 sisters are tasked with imprisoning whoever breaks their blood oath, torturing them to insanity, as death would be too kind for
And that's
Kratos.
why Kratos was.
That's exactly what they do
chains.
to Kratos, causing haunting illusions to weaken the Spartan's mind. Orcos, the son of Ares and the Queen of Furies, realizes that his father wasn't fair to the Spartan when he manipulated him to slay his own family. He betrays the Furies and takes Kratos' side, telling the ghosts of Sparta that Ares chose him to be his servant in a plot to overtake Mount Olympus. He also tells Kratos that the Oracle Aletheia could know how to free him from Mount Olympus, telling the ghosts of him to slay his own family. He betrays the Furies and takes Kratos' side, telling the ghosts of Sparta that Ares chose him to be his servant in a plot to overtake Mount Olympus. He also tells Kratos that the Oracle Aletheia could know how to free him from his bond to Ares. Kratos finds the Oracle, who tells him that the only way to be free from his blood oath is to slay the Furies. The Furies catch up with Kratos and Orcos and imprison the ghost of Sparta within Aegean, a giant living prison called the Prison of the Damned. They torture Kratos by casting various illusions and even try to seduce him into getting back to Ares' service by showing him getting home to his wife and daughter. But the ghost of Sparta doesn't forget reality and refuses to pledge his allegiance to the God of War. Kratos eventually manages to get free from the Furies' prison and kills the 3 sisters. He reunites with Orcos, who tells him that the only way for both of them to get rid of their respective bonds to Ares is for Kratos to kill Orcos, as the Furies made him his oathkeeper. The Spartan reluctantly obliges, finally breaking his bond with the God of War. However, doing so has an unexpected consequence, as Kratos begins to have terrible nightmares about the death of his wife and daughter. These visions were previously held back by his bond to Ares and are now free to roam his mind.
That makes sense. Okay. Because... Okay, so killing Ares gave him all his nightmares back. He didn't ask to, like... Yeah, because... He didn't ask to, like, take away his nightmares when he first met Ares, because that didn't happen yet. Like, him killing his wife and kids. Okay. But why is that bounded to Ares? Yeah, why didn't he have nightmares? Okay, nah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm lost again. I'm lost again.
Torturing him with sorrow. The only way for Kratos to get rid of these nightmares is to serve the gods of Olympus and get redemption for his sins. The ghost of Sparta begins to accomplish various missions for the Olympian gods, protecting Greece from foreign enemies and defeating powerful mythological creatures. Some of his adventures are described in God of War Chains of Olympus, a game released in 2008 for the PSP. In God of War Chains of Olympus, Kratos battles against the Persian army in the city of Attica. In classic Kratos fashion, he slays the army, defeats the Persian king, and even kills the large basilisk fighting for them. After slaying the beast, the sun suddenly plummets through the sky, falling down like a meteorite and plunging the world into darkness. The ghost of Sparta heads to where the sun seemingly fell down, running after the remains of light on the horizon. He discovers that Morpheus, the god of dreams, covered the land in a black fog, so he can be the only ruler of this new world without Helios, the god of the sun. Kratos reaches
that's what I was saying.
Helios,
like, what I was saying. Oh, if the sun is falling down, then that means Helios is dying or something like that. And they said Morpheus, the god of dreams, was taking control of that. That's okay.
Remaining light comes from and encounters a statue of Athena, who tells him that Morpheus used his black fog to put all gods in a deep slumber. The goddess asks Kratos to
he has the ability to do that on gods? What? And what is his purpose of doing that? Okay.
back and get rid of Morpheus so the gods could finally wake up and prevent him from ruling over the world. Since Kratos is now in the world of dreams, something comes to haunt him, a flute melody that the ghost of Sparta recognizes as the one his daughter used to play. That sure doesn't help with the nightmares he has, but the ghost of Sparta manages to keep his sanity, or at least what's left of it. Kratos finds Helios' sister, Eos, who tells him that the god of the sun has been abducted by the Titan Atlas. Kratos frees the fire steeds, the mythical horses that pull Helios' sun chariot across the sky every day. The horses take Kratos to their master in the underworld, where the ghost of Sparta follows the light of Helios to the temple of Persephone, the queen of the underworld. He sees his daughter Calliope on the shorelines of the temple, but as he tries to follow her inside, he meets the queen of the underworld instead. She offers to reunite the ghost of Sparta with his daughter.
Anyway, I remember Persephone, you know, is the queen of the underworld, basically the wife of Hades. And I remember in God of War 3 that they said that there was a statue of Persephone, and it said something along I don't remember what it said, but Hades did say something about like Kratos killing Persephone. So does this happen here, or I don't know?
Under the condition, he renounces the weapons and powers granted to him by the gods of Olympus, even if the world will suffer from this choice. Kratos agrees and transfers his powers to the Forsaken Tree, becoming an ordinary man stripped of all godly powers, magic abilities, and powerful weapons. As Kratos can finally reunite with his daughter, Persephone taunts him and reveals her true plans. She was the one who freed Atlas and caused the kidnapping of Helios, as revenge against the gods of Olympus who abandoned her. While Kratos was getting rid of his powers and reuniting with his daughter, Atlas carried out Persephone's plan.
Wait, I'm kind of confused a little bit. He reunited with his dead daughter? Like, wait, hold on. I gotta, because this is going a little too fast. He renounces
the weapons and powers granted to him by the gods of Olympus, even if the world healed instead. She offers to reunite the ghost of Sparta with his daughter. Under the condition, he renounces the weapons and powers granted to him by the gods of Olympus, even if the world will suffer from this choice. Kratos agrees and transfers his powers to the Forsaken Tree.
So she's the queen of the underworld. So I'm guessing she has that power to like take her soul back and I guess reunite with. But if that's the case, couldn't she do that with like Kratos's wife as well, so he can reunite his whole family together? Like, why wouldn't she do that? Why wouldn't Kratos want that? I'm not too sure.
Stripped of all godly powers, magic abilities, and powerful weapons. As Kratos can finally reunite with his daughter, Persephone taunts him and reveals her true plans. She was the one who freed Atlas and caused the kidnapping of Helios, as revenge against the gods of Olympus who abandoned her. While Kratos was getting rid of his powers and reuniting with his daughter, Atlas carried out Persephone's plan to destroy the pillar that holds the world, killing everyone and causing the end of the world. Kratos realizes that the only way to save his daughter is to stop Persephone's evil plans, even if that means he'll never see his child again. Kratos fights his way out to retrieve his weapons and powers, killing everyone standing in his way. This slaughter turns him into the ghost of Sparta once more, to the despair of his daughter. Kratos catches up with Persephone and the two fight in an epic battle at the top of the pillar.
What the freak? Why she look like a Valkyrie or something? The heck?
Kratos catches up.
Persephone. Dang, she know how to do this. She actually powerful. I thought she was like Zeus's wife. Oh, I forgot what her name is. I thought she was like that, like somebody that just be talking, like, you know what I mean? Don't got no powers or nothing. But dang.
Up with Persephone and the two fight in an epic battle at the top of the pillar of the world. The ghost of Sparta binds the Titan Atlas to the pillar and defeats the queen of the underworld, who tells what? Binds the Titan Atlas to the pillar and defeats the top of the pillar of the world. The ghost of Sparta binds the Titan Atlas
to
the pillar and defeats the queen of the underworld.
Wait. Is he the Titan that we kill in God of War 3? I thought that was Kronos. No. I think that was Kronos. But he's binded to the pillar, like, Because I remember that Kronos in God of War 3 had like this big freaking rock on his back that he was binded to. So I'm guessing that's not the same thing. Okay.
Who tells him that his suffering will never end as he will always be haunted by his past actions. The pillar breaks and Atlas is now forced to hold the weight of the world on his shoulders for eternity.
Wow.
The Titan tells Kratos that he will regret helping the gods and that they will meet again. The Ghost of Sparta doesn't really care about Atlas's opinion and believes the gods will keep their promise of getting rid of his nightmares should he complete.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Kratos had faith in the gods to to take away his nightmares, but I'm guessing that did not happen because God of War 3 happened. Yeah, and he said, and Atlas told him that he was gonna come back, and he made a grave mistake. I feel like Atlas and Kronos are the same the same Titan, but they're not, obviously, because I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't know. They look the same. Like,
missions for them. Kratos rides Helios' sun chariot back to the mortal world, bringing the ordinary course of the sun back and forcing Morpheus to release his grip. The first God of War game, released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2, begins as Kratos accomplished 10 years of service for the gods of Olympus. Kratos is tired of this mercenary life and wants to stop serving the gods.
10 years?
Athena tells him that if he performs one final mission, the gods will forgive him for killing his family. And that final mission is one Kratos has been looking for: killing Ares. Kratos heads to Athens, where Ares is wreaking havoc. The Ghost of Sparta battles his way through the city and finds out the only way to kill Ares is with Pandora's box.
Oh, Pandora's box. Okay. This is what happened. This is what happened in God of War 3, where Kratos was trying to find Pandora's box again in order to defeat Zeus. So Pandora's box is like a universal weapon used to literally defeat gods. So that's why he came back to the Pandora's box again in the future.
To kill a god. Since this artifact can give immense powers to whoever opens it, Pandora's box isn't easily accessible. It's hidden within a temple filled with deadly traps and is located on the back of the Titan Kronos.
Oh, okay. It's located on the back of Kronos. Okay, yeah. So Atlas and Kronos, definitely different Titans, different beings. Okay. So that's why he came back to Kronos in God of War 3 again.
Wander the Desert of Lost Souls by Zeus after the Great War that opposed the Titans and the Olympians. Determined to get his revenge on Ares and be forgiven for his past sins, Kratos makes his way to Pandora's temple. As Kratos recovers Pandora's box, Ares throws a pillar from Athens to the temple and kills the Ghost of Sparta, while Harpies throws a pillar.
He threw a pillar from where?
Kratos makes his way to Pandora's temple. As Kratos recovers Pandora's box, Ares throws a pillar from Athens to the temple and kills the Ghost of Sparta, while Harpies steal the box for Ares.
Sure.
Kratos is sent to the underworld, the realm of the dead. He battles his way out of there and escapes the underworld with the help of a mysterious gravedigger who calls him my child. The Ghost of Sparta comes back to Athens and retrieves Pandora's box, unleashing its powers to finally face Ares. The God of War doesn't go down without a fight and forces Kratos to relive the death of his wife and daughter.
Wow. Okay, so he's been through this road multiple times. Been through the underworld multiple times. Going to Kronos multiple times. Like, bro, he's been through this what? Oh my gosh. This is God of War 3 all over again.
Snap out of it, so Ares strips the blades of chaos from Kratos' arms, leaving the Ghost of Sparta to fight with his bare hands. Kratos finds the Blade of the Gods, a large metal sword formerly used as an ornamental bridge inside Athens, and uses it to finally defeat the God of War. Athens is safe and sound, and Kratos finally got his revenge. Athena tells him that as promised, the gods forgive his sins. However, they can't make the nightmares go away, as that wasn't part of the deal.
Oh my god.
They really scammed this guy. They scammed him. He did all of this work. 10 years of working for Olympus, killing the God of War. Nah, that's crazy, man. Imagine, bro, you at a company, right, working 10 years, 10 long years, and then one day they just and you think like, oh man, I want to be a vice president. I want to be like a real high ranking person, you know what I mean? And you like a senior, I don't know, like a senior have a senior position, about to get into the vice president position or something like that, and then they just let you go, man. Like, they just let you go without any reason at all. At all. And you just looking there like, bro, I worked 10 years in this company. For what? Like,
Will have to deal with it. With no more reason to live, Kratos tries to kill himself by drowning in
he
the
tried to.
Aegean Sea.
Oh, didn't he do the
However,
same
the
thing?
gods have other plans for him, and Athena pulls him out of the water. Since Ares was defeated, there's an empty seat on Mount Olympus, the throne of the god of war. And this is how Kratos, the bloodthirsty Spartan captain, becomes the new god of war, and where this popular franchise got its name. God of War, Ghost of Sparta dives deeper into the origin story of Kratos by focusing on some of his family members. Not his dead wife and daughter though, as we already know about them. Long before the events of the games, an oracle foretold that the end of Mount Olympus wouldn't come from the Titans, but the gods would fall to the hand of the marked warrior, a mortal. Zeus and Ares found a boy with strange birthmarks that could fit a marked warrior.
A marked warrior. So I'm guessing, okay, so his brother Deimos right here, they killed him thinking that's the person the person is gonna destroy Olympus, but it's actually him right here, Kratos. And I'm guessing since they killed Deimos and he wanted to represent his brother by putting like a red mark on his eye. Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, I remember.
For your description, this boy was Kratos' younger brother, Deimos.
Yes.
Ares interrupted the brother's childhood training in Sparta and kidnapped Deimos to prevent him from harming Olympus. Kratos tried to intervene, but the god of war pushed him away and scarred his right eye. As Ares was about to kill Kratos, Athena stopped him, stating they only needed the marked warrior. They took Deimos to the domain of death. What
if Athena knew that it was Kratos all this time or something like that, bro? What if she knew that? Oh my gosh. But that would mean her demise, because she would know that Kratos kills her at the end of God of War 3. Or not God of War 3, but was it? I don't know what God of War. But yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it.
Tortured by the god of death, Thanatos, for the years to come. In honor of his brother, Kratos got a red tattoo similar to Deimos' birthmark across his face and body. Years later, Kratos defeated Ares and became the new god of war. However, he remains haunted by visions of his mortal childhood, wondering what happened to the rest of his family. He decides to explore his past against the advice of Athena. He finds his mother, Callisto, in the city of Atlantis. She tells him that his brother is alive, but tormented in death's domain, and that to reach him, Kratos needs to head back to Ares' temple
I don't know
in Sparta.
anything about this. Yeah, they never actually explained Kratos' family except for Deimos and his wife and daughter. So this is pretty interesting. I never knew about this.
Death's domain, and that to reach him, Kratos needs to head back to Ares' temple in Sparta. Callisto suddenly transforms into a beast, and Kratos has to kill his own mother. On the way out of Atlantis, Kratos frees
But why did she turn into a beast?
Ares' temple in Sparta. Callisto suddenly transforms into a beast, and Kratos has to kill his own mother. On the way out of Atlantis, Kratos frees the Titan Thera, which causes the eruption of the Methana volcano and a flood that destroys everything. As he escapes the sunken city, Kratos stumbles upon the enigmatic gravedigger he previously met in the first God of War game, who warns him not to anger the gods. Kratos reaches Sparta, where he's praised by the inhabitants. Some Spartans are even tearing down a statue of Ares to replace it with one of Kratos, the new god of war. He then fights against a young, ghost-like version of himself, who manages to throw a few good punches at the god of war before getting crushed against a wall. Kratos realizes he needs to get back to Atlantis to find Death's domain and rescue his brother. This trip to Sparta wasn't completely meaningless though, as a young Spartan commander gives Kratos his former weapons, the arms of Sparta. Kratos goes back to Atlantis, but the minions of Poseidon sink his ship and kill his crew. The god of the sea is mad at Kratos for sinking his kingdom, but the Spartan doesn't really care. He finally enters Death's domain, locates his brother, and frees him. But this lovely brotherly reunion isn't as warm as it could have been, as Deimos is furious that Kratos didn't come to rescue him sooner. The two brothers fight until
bro. Oh my gosh. Yo, Kratos' past is the craziest in video game history, man. He had to kill his mom, he killed his wife, he killed his kids, killed his brother, he killed his whole freaking family, bruh. Bro, what if Kratos killed Atreus, bro? Nah, that would never happen, dude. No way. 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 Yo. What happened? What happened? You know what?
Kratos, the god of death, intervenes. He takes Deimos away. Kratos saves his brother, and the two reconcile.
Oh.
Kratos gives Deimos the arms of Sparta, and they fight Thanatos together.
Okay.
Thanatos realizes the gods made a mistake. The marked warrior was not Deimos, but Kratos. The marks weren't Deimos' birthmark as they thought, but the ashes of Kratos' wife and daughter bound to the ghost of Sparta's skin. Kidnapping Deimos had turned Kratos into a merciless warrior, and forcing him to kill his family fulfilled the prophecy of creating the marked warrior. During the fight against the two brothers, Thanatos kills Deimos.
Wait, what?
Furious, Kratos slays the god.
No.
He carries the dead body of his brother to the mysterious gravedigger he previously met, who for some reason already had a grave prepared.
Sheesh.
Kratos buries his brother using the arms of Sparta as a grave marker. As the ghost of Sparta wonders out loud what had become of him, the gravedigger answers that he became Death, the destroyer of worlds, before vanishing. Athena appears, stating that all the ties that linked Kratos to the mortal world were now severed. As she tries to turn him into a full-time god, the Spartan stops her. He heads back to Olympus, saying that the gods will pay for what they did. He sits on his throne as the god of war, wearing his Olympian armor with a thirst for revenge in his eyes.
Sheesh.
The adventures of Kratos continue with the release of God of War Betrayal.
Bro, there's all these freaking, these games, oh my gosh, but so much betrayal and hatred that follows Kratos, man. Like, and what is this game? This is like, this could be on the Game Boy Advance. Like, what?
Mobile. Following the events of the first game, Kratos is back to leading his Spartan army against
this is
very
canon?
great warriors. Everything is going fine until Kratos' crew is attacked by a bunch of beasts led by Argos, a powerful giant and servant of Hera sent to stop Kratos from wreaking havoc in Greece. A mysterious assassin kills Argos and frames Kratos for this death in the hope that the gods would turn their back on the ghost of Sparta. Kratos goes after this mysterious killer to find out who wants to frame him, slashing everyone standing in his way as per usual. Zeus eventually sends the son of Hermes, Syrinx, to deliver a message to Kratos asking him to stop destroying everything in his quest to find the assassin. Kratos refuses to stop, fights against the messenger, and ends up killing him. Whoops. Now the gods have a really good reason to be mad at the ghost of Sparta. Enter God of War 2. Kratos is among the gods of Olympus, but his colleagues don't really like the way he's slaughtered everyone.
Ain't no way anybody played that, bro. And actually, like, I mean, there might be some real deep in fans, but like, I know majority of the fan base didn't play that mobile game and knew that information, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro.
Adventures. Kratos doesn't like them either, as they're responsible for the death of everyone he cared about and didn't help him to get rid of the haunting visions of his family's death. The only hobby that Kratos has is leading his Spartan army into battle, conquering Greece and defeating anyone he can. Athena asks for him to stop as the gods are growing more and more angry at the new god of war and his thirst for blood. As usual, Kratos doesn't really care what anyone thinks and continues doing what he wants. He assists his Spartan army in the Battle of Rhodes, joining the fight as a god, way taller than any of the mere humans fighting this war. An eagle, who Kratos believes to be Athena, flies over the battlefield and strips him of his godly height, infusing it into the Colossus of Rhodes, bringing it to life to kill Kratos. The large statue joins the battle and wreaks havoc in the city in his fight against the ghost of Sparta.
I thought Athena would be on
Kratos the Blade of Olympus, a powerful sword once used to stop Sparta. Zeus gives Kratos the Blade of Olympus.
Wait, what? Why would he do that? Why would Zeus do that? What isn't Kratos not? Isn't Zeus? Wait, I'm so confused. What? How would that help out Zeus in the end? Getting the blade of Olympus. And I remember the blade of Olympus in God of War 3. That's the that's when you go into your Spartan rage and then you get the blade of Olympus. But what? I'm so confused.
Sword once used to stop the great war between the gods and the Titans. The king of Olympus tells Kratos to infuse this blade with his godly powers in order to have the means to defeat the Colossus. The ghost of Sparta transfers his powers into the sword, becoming mortal but powerful enough to destroy his opponent. Kratos defeats the statue but is mortally wounded after being crushed by the falling Colossus.
Oh, wait, was his motive to strip away his godly powers so he can become immortal and he's not a threat anymore? Is that why?
Of Sparta tries to crawl to his sword to get his powers back, but the eagle appears once again. It turns out that it wasn't Athena who stripped him of his godly heights, but Zeus himself.
Wow.
He betrayed Kratos as he is a threat to Olympus and already killed one of the gods, Ares. Zeus doesn't want to be Kratos' next victim, so he kills the ghost of Sparta using the blade of Olympus and wipes out the entire Spartan army.
Wow.
As Kratos is dragged to the underworld, he's saved by Gaia, the primordial goddess of the earth,
this is where she come in,
and grandmother of the Olympian gods. Her voice might sound familiar to players, as she's also the narrator of the God of War series. Gaia tells Kratos that he should find the Sisters of Fate to change his past, regain his powers and status as the God of War, and then prevent Zeus's betrayal and slay the King of Olympus. Easy peasy, right? Gaia sends forth Pegasus, the mythical winged horse, to help Kratos on his quest. Kratos and Pegasus fly towards the island of creation but are attacked by ravens and griffins. The leader of the Griffin Riders, the Dark Rider, slams into Pegasus and sends the horse plummeting to its death.
Shoot.
Kratos avenges the winged horse and defeats the Dark Rider before diving onto the island of creation below. On his way to finding the Sisters of Fate, Kratos asks Gaia why she decided to help him get his revenge on Zeus.
I thought Kratos was about to get strip the wings of Pegasus and use it as his item. I thought that's how he got it. Oh my gosh, I thought that was... Oh man.
Zeus. Starting with how he was saved as a child from the madness of his father, Kronos, who ate all of his children to prevent a prophecy stating that one of the kids would rise up against him. Zeus's mother, Rhea, saved the child and sent him away to an island that happened to be Gaia herself. Gaia took care of Zeus until he grew up and was strong enough to enact his revenge against Kronos and all the Titans.
Wait, what?
In typical Kratos fighting the madness, she explains the story of skiing onto the island of creation below. On his way to finding the Sisters of Fate, Kratos asks Gaia why she decided to help him get his revenge on Zeus. She explains the story of Zeus. Starting with how he was saved as a child from the madness of his father, Kronos.
Oh, wait, Kronos is Zeus's father? Okay. What is going on? Okay, this is such a lore dump.
Children to prevent a prophecy stating that one of the kids would rise up against him. Zeus's mother, Rhea, saved the child.
Zeus's mother, Rhea,
and sent him away to an island.
How did she save? Wait, hold on. How did she save the child from Kronos, bro? From Kronos eating him? Like how? Like what?
Gaia herself. Gaia took care of Zeus until he grew up and was strong enough to enact his revenge against Kronos.
Okay, so Gaia took care of Zeus. Dang, and Zeus did her like that in God of War 3? Oh, heck nah, man. Without Gaia, you wouldn't be here, bro. Like...
and all the Titans. In typical Kratos fashion, the ghost of Sparta slays a few enemies standing in his way, including Theseus, the son of Poseidon, Perseus, son of Zeus, the barbarian king he defeated in the original God of War, the Gorgon queen Euryale, and Icarus, whom he steals wings from.
Oh, Icarus. Yeah, okay, so he got it from Icarus.
Which is the Titan Atlas, who was forced to hold the Icarus barbarian king he defeated in the original God of War, the Gorgon Queen Euryale and Icarus, whom he steals wings from. Kratos then reaches the Titan Atlas, who is forced to hold the Earth after his encounter with the Ghost of Sparta in God of War Chains of
Persephone,
Olympus.
yeah.
Atlas is furious at Kratos for being responsible for his fate, but the Spartan explains his plans of reaching the Sisters of Fate to take his revenge on Zeus. Atlas tells Kratos that the Titans are also looking to take their revenge against the King of
and this is
Olympus,
what happens. This is he starts recruiting all the Titans for the war on Olympus for God of War 3. Okay.
Them during the Great War. After a few more battles, Kratos enters the Sisters of Fate's stronghold and explains his desire to change his fate. They deny his request to alter time, so Kratos reacts as he always does by fighting them. He defeats the 3 Sisters of Fate, granting himself control over his own destiny. Kratos gets his powers back and retrieves his status as the God of War before traveling back to his death at the hands of Zeus in Rhodes. Zeus didn't see this time travel twist coming, and Kratos manages to get the upper hand in their battle. After a lengthy
this game has time travel as well, man. How cracked is Kratos? He defeated the Sisters of Fate so he can change his destiny. Time travel to when Zeus was killing Kratos and stripping his god powers away. What the freak? Okay. And he prevented from him being in the underworld again, and okay.
Fight, the Ghost of Sparta pins down Zeus's hands and uses the Blade of Olympus to stab Zeus exactly how he was originally stabbed when he had lost the fight. Before Kratos can kill Zeus, Athena intervenes to defend
is this
the
where he
King of
kills
Olympus.
Athena?
Kratos is angry at her for protecting the god and preventing him from getting his revenge. Zeus warns Kratos that he started a war he will not be able to win, as the Sisters of Fate already predicted his victory. Kratos turns back to the King of Olympus and tries to impale him, but Athena sacrifices herself and takes the hit instead of Zeus, who escapes. As Athena is dying, Kratos asks her why she sacrificed herself to protect Zeus. Athena reveals that Zeus's actions were only caused by fear, the same fear that led to his father Kronos killing all of his children, the fear that caused the Great War, and the fear that is now responsible for Zeus trying to kill his own son, Kratos. Yep, Kratos is the son of Zeus. And just like Zeus wanted to kill his father Kronos, Kratos was now trying to kill his dad. Athena warns Kratos that the gods will never stop protecting Zeus, and that Zeus is the only one who can make sure Olympus will prevail. As the goddess draws her last breath, Kratos declares that no one will stop him from getting his revenge on Zeus, even if he has to slay everyone on Mount Olympus. Kratos travels back in time once more, this time to the Great War that opposed the gods and Titans. Gaia announces that the Titans were expecting him, and the Ghost of Sparta explains how they can change their fate and win this war. However, they can't do this during the Great War. Kratos takes Gaia and the Titans to his current timeline so they can face off against the gods of Olympus.
What?
Meanwhile,
so that's how it happened? What? He went into the past from the Great War when the Titans was fighting the gods, took them all into the present so he can destroy Olympus. Wait, so before he went into the past, did all of the Titans, were all the Titans destroyed? I'm pretty sure maybe Gaia was destroyed, and Atlas was still holding the pillar, and was Kronos. Oh, I think they said Zeus killed Kronos, right? Okay, there's a little bit of holes. I just need, I don't know, somebody in the comments can explain all this in layman, just in a simpler way for me to understand and digest everything. But it's just a lot to take in, man.
Defeated Zeus.
Time travel really just complicates everything
that Kratos has gone rogue.
In any series, any movies, any
that Olympus will
TV
prevail,
show.
Kratos and the Titans appear and start climbing the mountain. Kratos tells Zeus that his son has returned to bring the destruction of Olympus. God of War 3 picks up the story as the Titans are making their way to Mount Olympus. The gods rush to battle, with Poseidon turning into a massive water being
the
and
first
summoning
boss getting
several
packed
water
up.
horses to fight his enemies. Kratos fights against the god of the sea, turning him back to his
Oh
human
man,
form
this
before
was
gouging
brutal.
his eyes out and snapping his neck.
Sheesh.
The death of Poseidon causes a massive flood that destroys everyone but those standing
Yup.
atop Mount Olympus. Kratos and Gaia reach Zeus, who throws a blast of lightning at them. It knocks the two off the mountain, and while Gaia manages to climb back to Mount Olympus, Kratos struggles to hang on to the Titaness. Gaia tells Kratos that he was only a pawn to give Titans access to Mount Olympus, and that they no longer need him to get their revenge on
I
the
remember
gods.
this.
She leaves the ghost of Sparta to fall down to his death.
An underworld.
Kratos falls into the river Styx, swearing once again that he will get his revenge and destroy all of Olympus. In the underworld, he meets the spirit of Athena, who claimed to have reached a higher level of existence after her sacrifice to protect Zeus. This new form allowed her to learn about all the truths she previously ignored, and the former goddess is now willing to help Kratos get his revenge against the king of Olympus. She states that as long as Zeus lives, humanity will remain hopeless. The only way to truly defeat Zeus is to extinguish
Why did she
the
have,
flame
bro?
of Olympus.
Her being in a higher existence made her realize that Zeus was not the answer, bro. Like, he's not the leader that's supposed to be running Olympus, man. Bro, she could have prevented all of this if she not, like, protected Zeus, man. Like, all of this would have never happened.
When the ghost of Sparta reached them, Athena gives him a new set of weapons, the Blades of Exile.
Blades of
Kratos
Exile.
Makes his way through the
I did
underworld to
remember
reach
this.
Hades' palace.
Wait, what's the
Meeting
difference
various
between
lost
Blades of
souls
Chaos
along
and
the
Blades of
way.
Exile?
He faces the Lord of the Underworld and manages to defeat him, ripping out Hades' soul using the god of the dead's own weapon, the Claws of Hades.
Claws of Hades.
Kratos escapes from the underworld and resumes his journey to Mount Olympus, but this time with no allies and two major enemies, the Titans and the gods.
Helios.
On his way to the top of the mountain, he stumbles upon Gaia, who is still climbing to go back to battle. The Titaness asks for his help, but after her betrayal, Kratos refuses and cuts off her hand, making Gaia fall down the mountain. He then meets a wounded Helios, the god of the sun, but instead of saving him, Kratos
he
rips
was
off
just
his
on
head,
timing for
plunging the
everything.
world into
Everybody
eternal
that
darkness.
betrayed him,
After a few more
gave him
fights,
all
Kratos
this pain.
reaches the chamber of the flame and finds Pandora's box, which still holds the power to kill a god. However, after the ghost of Sparta used its power to kill Ares, Zeus got scared and protected the box by placing it inside the deadly flames of Olympus. Athena tells Kratos that the key to opening the box and unleashing its power is to find the one it was named after, Pandora. The ghost of Sparta slashes a few more
and
gods
you have to get
while
to
looking for
Hephaestus,
Pandora,
right?
killing Hermes, Hercules, Hera, the Titan Kronos, and Hephaestus, but not before the craftsman of Olympus forged him a new weapon, the Nemesis Whip. Hephaestus reveals that he was trying to protect his daughter Pandora, who was imprisoned in a labyrinth after Kratos opened her box. Kratos heads to the labyrinth and finds Pandora. The two of them escape the labyrinth and make their way back to the Chamber of the Flame. The only way to extinguish the flame of Olympus is for Pandora to sacrifice herself, but Kratos grew fond of the young woman and doesn't want her to die. As Pandora escapes Kratos' grip to run into the flame, Zeus intervenes and grabs the girl. The god of war and the king of Olympus fight once more,
final
with
battle.
Kratos taking the upper hand against his father. While the two gods are fighting, Pandora reaches the flame and unlocks the box. As Kratos opens it, he discovers that the box is empty and that Pandora sacrificed herself for nothing. Zeus mocks his son for another failure and teleports outside to recover from the fight. Kratos chases after Zeus and resumes the fight against his father. The two are interrupted by Gaia, who finally finished climbing the mountain and didn't die when Kratos cut off her hand, which grew back. Gaia destroys the platform where Kratos and Zeus are fighting, forcing the father and son to jump inside the Titaness's body.
Oh yeah, and
Kratos
this is where
Zeus
he
continue
destroys.
Their fight, and the ghost of
Oh
Sparta
yeah, and he
finally
destroys her
manages
heart.
to defeat his father, impaling
Dang, my camera died.
him against Gaia's heart, killing the king of Olympus and the mother of the Titans at the same time. Kratos awakens amongst the chaos caused by the death of all the gods and Titans. He finds Zeus impaled on a rock and takes his weapon out of his dead father's body, but Zeus hasn't yet said his last word, and his spirit attacks Kratos. As Zeus's spirit crashes Kratos with his giant fist, the Spartan begins a mental journey where he reunites with Pandora, who tells him that hope is the only thing that can help win battles. Kratos forgives himself for his past sins that were tormenting his soul. This newfound hope makes Kratos regain consciousness and retrieve his godly powers. He forces Zeus's spirit back into his body before beating his father to death with his bare hands. Kratos finally got his revenge and killed the gods of Mount Olympus. However, it has an impact on Greece, as those supposed to watch over the world are dead. There is no sun. Tornadoes are destroying everything, the ocean engulfs most of the land, and
I
there
remember
doesn't
this,
seem to be
man.
anyone else besides
This is
Birds
such a
and
great
Kratos to witness the chaos.
finale
Athena
of the God of
appears
War series.
congratulating Kratos on his victory.
At the time.
She says that now that the world is rid of the god's control and the land is cleansed by chaos, humanity is ready to hear her message. She asks Kratos to give her the power from Pandora's box, but the Spartan reveals that the box was empty when he opened it. Athena tells him that he's wrong, as she witnessed Kratos killing Zeus thanks to the power held within the box. It turns out that the power to kill a god that was held in Pandora's box wasn't a weapon, but hope, giving the strength to overcome all obstacles. This power was unleashed when Kratos first opened Pandora's box to defeat Ares, but hope was buried deep underneath Kratos' guilt and need for revenge. Now that he forgave himself and defeated Zeus, Kratos unleashed the true power of hope. Athena asks Kratos to give her this power so she can rebuild a better world. Kratos refuses and impales himself on the blade of Olympus, releasing the power of hope to the entire world instead of Athena. Disappointed, Athena leaves Kratos to bleed to death. But a trail of blood leading away from the blade of Olympus suggests that the ghost of Sparta isn't yet dead. God of War 3 marks the end of the Olympian gods, and seemingly the end of Kratos as he finally got his revenge. But in 2018, he's back. Many years after his fight with Zeus, Kratos is now living in the realm of Midgard.
We're gonna stop right here because I don't want to get any spoilers with playing God of War 2018. But dang, bro, that is such a wise decision to unleash hope onto Olympus instead of to Athena, because it's just gonna recycle back again. Athena being the new god of Olympus is just not, the cycle is gonna repeat. So he just unleashed it onto the world and sacrificing himself. Dang, such a massive lore dump. Wow, I don't recall everything that happened, but I have a gist of Kratos' life, everything he's been through, why he had such vengeance towards the gods. Dang, bro. What is there any video game character or franchise that has such a has a deep past like this? This is crazy. Such such brutality and betrayal and vengeance. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. You feel me? But yeah, man, this has been a blast, honestly. Having all of this information, this timeline, just really opened my eyes on Kratos and why he is the way he is. But yeah, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, you leave a like for your boy and comment down below. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys ready for episode 2 of God of War 2018, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, stay blessed and be different from the rest. Yeah.